All right, Shalom Yasharallah. Peace, Israel. First off, I want to give all praises on and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Bakar, Kadash. Double honors to my apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, who has taught us this truth. And also peace and salutation to the Akim, the hopeful elect that are out there laboring in truth and sincerity on the four corners of the earth, understanding in the banner of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Bakar, Kadash. All right, and also Shalom to you, to Akim or Akhwatim that are tuning in for spiritual hydration, you know. And this is the brother Karab here from the GMS Boston camp. Just want to touch on a quick lesson, and Lord's will let this lesson be edifying. And the title is the Lord's judgment is at hand. All right, and this lesson was inspired by an article that I stumbled across, you know, and I'm gonna pull it up on the screen real quick. All right, bear with me, give me 1 second. And it says this is from the USAtoday.com, and it says Salakia, bear with me. It says Salakia. Let me go forward. And it says above average hurricane season predicted this year, top experts say. All right. And before I jump into that, you know, I want to jump into this precept, which is going into Second Ezra's the 8th chapter, you know. And what is it? Why am I jumping into it? Because this is the Lord's judgment being executed. You know, the Lord is bringing judgment upon the world, you know, as we see. And this is the year 2020, the year of prophecy. And you see how it started off with a bang, but now, you know, these news media, what do they call the weather guys, the weather people are expecting it to be one of the above average, you know. Once again, let me read it again. It says above average hurricane season predicted this year, top expert says. All right. So now they're saying that it's going to be, you know, above average. It's going to be bigger than what we had last year because, you know, I looked into it and where's it at? Right here. And I'm going to read this before I bring that precept out. I end up typing how many category 5 hurricanes in 2019. And it says a rogues gallery of 5 category 5 storms of 2019, 5 category 5 tropical cyclones troubled Earth tropical weather in 2019, 2 hurricanes in the Atlantic, Hurricane Dorian at 185 miles per hour and Lorenzo at 160 miles per hour, and 3 super typhoons in the Northwest Pacific. It's Wu-Tip for 160 miles per hour, Hagibis for 160 miles per hour, and Halon for 180 miles per hour. All right, so now with that, and you can tell what happened with it was one that destroyed the West Indies. All right, and destroyed Puerto Rico. So there's plenty of hurricanes that did damage. But now they're saying that this year, the year of 2020, the year of prophecy, is going to be more. All right, and we don't. I'm gonna go into the article because they kind of give out a number, but we don't know how many category 5s there may be. It might be more than what we received last year. All right, which is expected, you know, because this is the Lord bringing forth His judgment. All right, and this is Second Ezra's chapter 8 Salaki, bear with me. 61. It says, and therefore is my judgment now at hand. These things have not showed unto all men, but unto thee, and a few like thee. Then answered I and said, behold, O Lord, now hast thou showed me the multitudes of the wonders which thou will begin to do in the last times, but at what time thou hast not showed me. All right. Let me go to the next chapter. Right, and this is what we ought to do, right? You know, if you're a man serving the Lord, if you're a prophet, if you're out there doing the work, if, you know, you're trying to serve Yahweh to your best of your ability, this is one of the main things that you should be doing. And he said, Second Ezra 9:1, he said, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou see parts of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. All right, and this is the time that we're in, you know, measuring the time diligently. When you see in articles like this, and I'm going to go into the article. Once again, I'm going to read the title. It says, above average hurricane season predicted this year, top expert says. All right. And it says, let me see. He says, after yet another destructive hurricane season in 2019, top hurricane forecaster from Colorado State University on Thursday. So, let me close this out. Get tired of these pop-ups. All right, Salakia. It says, read it at the top. It says, after yet another destructive hurricane season in 2019, top hurricane forecasters from Colorado State University on Thursday said we can expect major activity again this year. We anticipate that the 2020 Atlantic Basin hurricane season will have above normal activity, the forecaster says. In addition, there is an above average probability for major hurricane making landfall along the continental United States. The season begins June 1st. It says meteorologist Phil Klotzbeck and other experts from Colorado State University among the nation's top seasonal hurricane forecasters predict 16 named tropical storms will form. 8 of them will be become, so like 8 of which will become hurricanes. All right, so it says 16 tropical storms will form, and 8 out of the 16 are going to be hurricanes. It says an average season has 12 tropical storms, and 6 of which are hurricanes. A tropical storm becomes a hurricane when its wind speed reaches 74 miles per hour. Of the 8 predicted hurricanes, 4 are expected to spin into major hurricanes category 3, 4, and 5, which sustain wind speed of 111 miles per hour or greater. The group said there is a 69% chance for at least one major hurricane to make landfall somewhere along the United States coastline. All right. Continuing on, it says, powerhouse storms. It says, are category 5 hurricanes such as Dorian the new normal? The Atlantic hurricane season runs from June 1st to November 30. Though storms sometimes form outside of those dates. The team predicted that 2020, once again, 2020 being a year of prophecy, all right, and measuring the time diligently is being occupied in prophecy, all right. So the team predict that 2020 hurricane activity will be about 140% of the average season, all right. Reasons for the activity, reason for the active season include unusual warm seawater in the Atlantic Ocean and also a lack of an El Nino. All right. And I'm gonna continue on and I'm gonna end it off after this. It says, one of the major determining factors in hurricane forecasting is whether we are in an El Nino or a La Nina climate pattern, forming like roaches. All right. The 6 tropical storms whirling at once have tied a record. All right, so there's 6 tropical storms that's whirling at one time. Damn, that's heavy. All right, and that's what is that coming with? That's coming with great power. You know what I'm saying? Because 6 of them, 6 tropical storms. You know, one of them can do, like I said, one can even turn into a hurricane. All right, depending on the speed. You know what I'm saying? The miles per hour. All right, so it says 6 of them are whirling at once. It says the 6 tropical storms whirling at once have tied a record. El Nino is a natural warming of tropical Pacific Ocean water, which tends to suppress the development of Atlantic hurricanes. Its opposite, La Nina, marked by cooler ocean waters, tend to increase hurricane in the Atlantic. And I said one of the reasons for the above average seasonal hurricane forecaster from CSU is due to the likely lack of El Nino this summer/fall. And Klotzbeck tweeted Thursday, El Nino generally increase vertical winds shared in the Atlantic, tearing apart hurricane. All right. So, you know, it's just showing you, man, that this is the Most High. This is all of the hand of the Most High, because when you go into Isaiah 29:6, it reads, it says, you know what, before I get that, you know, I'm going to just bring this out and I'm going to grab the next precept. This is Isaiah 29:6. It says, thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts, the Lord Yahweh Shemashah of hosts, with thunder and with earthquakes and great noises and with storms and tempests and the flame of devouring fire. So this is all of the hand of Yahweh Shemashah. This is the Lord bringing forth his judgment unto the earth, you know, the world which he made, you know. And going into what Second Ezra the 15th chapter talks about these plagues that he's bringing, and these are also the plagues. These are also part of the plagues that the Most High is bringing. All right, this is I wanted to get this real quick. Is it Amos 5:18? All right, and it says Amos 5:18. It says, "Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shah. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light." All right. It says, as if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him, or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall and a serpent bit him. So, I brought this precept out. Because look at the start of the year 2020, the year of prophecy. Look at how things started off. Now you have this COVID-19 all stretched across the news all over the place. You have shutdowns and lockdowns. You had wars and rumors of wars pertaining unto the Matthew the 24th chapter. But these things all happen within the beginning of the year. And we're only in the fourth month of the year. All right. Showing you that the judgment is coming back to back to back. Saying, like as the scripture says, as if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him. What does that mean? That one judgment came and passed, and though that it came and passed, those that wasn't affected by it or wasn't touched by it, guess what? They can expect another wave to come through. Or as if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him, or went into the house and leaned his hand upon the wall and a serpent bit him. So this is how the Most High is getting down. He's sending them. He's sending these plagues. All right. Go once again. This is Second Ezra 15th chapter. Start at the top. It says, "Behold, speak down the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, said the Lord Yahweh Shema Shah, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true." All right. Once again, the words of Yahweh Shema Shah, faithful and true. So when he says Isaiah 29:6, and he says the Second Ezra the 8th chapter, 61st verse, says now is judgment at hand. Guess what? These things are gonna come to pass. Habakkuk 2:3 said the vision is yet for an appointed time. All right, and this is the time that we're in. We're in the time of the judgment. The Most High showing forth and visiting the world which He made, the earth that He made. Because of wickedness that exceedingly polluted the whole earth. So now the Lord is gonna, He's gonna do His part. He's gonna take out the wicked in large numbers. As was it Second Ezra the fifth chapter. So continue on. It says, "Fear not the imagination against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee, for all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness." It says, "Behold, said the Lord Yahweh Shema, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction." And when you look into that word, what's it at? Right here, whirlwind. All right. It says a column of air moving rapidly around and around in a cylindrical or funnel shape. All right. And this is tornado, a hurricane, typhoon, cyclone, tropical storm. All right. Used in similes or metaphor to describe a very energetic or tumultuous person. All right. So basically, going into the first one, it says, dust devil, twister. All right. Now I'm gonna look into tempest. All right. It says a violent windy storm. All right. Storm, squadron, hurricane, typhoon. So now let me grab a next precept. What was it? Ecclesiasticus. So yeah. Why is it doing it? All right. So I'm gonna go back to. It says right here. So it's Ecclesiasticus 39:28. It says, For there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore stroke. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them." All right. And what is that? You have these tempests, these whirlwinds, these hurricanes, these tropical storms. Guess what? They are created for vengeance in their sore stroke. And in their time of destruction, because what happens when they sweep through the land and it destroys everything that's in its path. So guess what? In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made it. So, and appease the wrath of him that made them. Who made them? Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Once again, when you go into, what was it, Isaiah? Bring it back out one more time. Isaiah 29. All right. It says, thou shalt be, this Isaiah 29:6, thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts with thunder and with earthquakes and with great noise and with storms and tempests and the flame of devouring fire. So, going back into what it says, it's going to appease the wrath of him that made them. It says, fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions and serpents and the sword punishing the wicked to destruction. They rejoice in his commandment, and they shall be ready upon earth when need is. And guess what? The time is now. Once again, it says the Lord's judgment is at hand. All right, the time is now. The time of the end of Esau's rulership is now. So guess what? All these heavy calamities, all these plagues is gonna come upon the earth, and they're gonna rejoice in his commandment. They said they are ready. I'm gonna read it again. This is verse 31. It says, they shall rejoice in his commandments, and they shall be ready upon earth when need is. And when their time is come, they shall not transgress his word. So what they're gonna do, they're gonna do exactly what they're made for, and they're gonna put out that force. They're gonna put out the power behind it, the power that the Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, is gonna send forth. It's gonna show forth on the earth, and there's gonna be people that's gonna be affected by it. That's why it says the sword, famine, death, and destruction, is coming, by these plagues. So going back to it. All right. This is for wickedness. This is 2 Ezra 15:6. It says, for wickedness had exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and the hurtful works are fulfilled. Therefore said the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit. Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. All right, and that's the elect. Those are the true servants of the Lord. And it says, and therefore said the Lord, I will surely avenge them and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. All right. Here you go. I'm continuing on. It says, behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter, and I will suffer them not to dwell in the land of Egypt. Because when you go back into the book of Exodus, the Lord came with the same, how can I say it? The same scenario, the same plan, the same plot, which was the same plagues upon the earth. And that's why he used Moses. He used Moses to reach out to Pharaoh and told him, let my people go. And guess what? Pharaoh didn't want to let go. So what the Lord did was he increased the plagues, So it's the same sentiment that's going to happen here in this wicked ass kingdom, which is also known as spiritual Sodom and Egypt, also known as mystery Babylon. All right. The mother of harlots in abomination. All right. That was in the book of Revelation. And this is continue on verse 11 says, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm and smite Egypt with the plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. All right, so he's gonna send the plagues upon Egypt again. You know what I'm saying? Because he said he's gonna smite Egypt with plagues as before. He's not talking about the Egypt that's over there in the land of Africa. He's talking about Babylon. If you look on the back of the dollar bill, you see that pyramid. What is that representing? Showing you that. Why is there a pyramid? Why is there a certain how can I say, structures? They got the obelisk. They got certain pyramids. You go to Las Vegas, they got certain pyramids. They got a city called Memphis in Tennessee. So showing you the traits and the characteristics, and you can also link them up to the scriptures. Why is it called that? But showing you that this is modern day Egypt, and modern Babylon and modern Sodom and Gomorrah. All right, it says, continuing on, it says, and I will and will destroy all the land thereof. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it will be smitten with plagues, and the punishment that Yahweh Shem Yahushua shall bring upon it. And they that till the ground shall mourn, for their seeds shall fail through the blasting and hail, and with fearful consolation. All right. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draw nigh. All right. So I'm gonna just end it off right there, pertaining, going into, the hurricane season that's expecting to hit. All right. The Lord's not playing. He's getting ready to what would it say? The scripture says it's going to be like a time like never before. All right. So, with it being a time like never before, this destruction is going to be is going to be on another level. All right. Hence why they say there's six tropical storms. What's it at? Let me read it one more time. It's right here. It says forming like roaches. All right. It says the 6 tropical storms whirling at once have tied a record. All right. So, hey, with that's showing you that the Lord's not playing, and it's still many more plagues to come. There's still many more ways that the Most High is going to jack this place up. The whole world's going to feel it. So I'm just going to end it off on that. And, Lord's will that this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, El Shaba, Hashem, Kakadash, the honors to apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, who have taught us this truth, and peace and salutation to the hopeful elect, the Akim that are here laboring in truth and sincerity, the four corners of the earth. And with that, I say Shalom and Abad Baba.